You've been told enjoyment is the reward for finishing the work. But what if it's actually the fuel? Most of us approach essential work with a grim sense of obligation. Work is serious. Fun is what you do when work is done. But the separation is so ingrained that we feel guilty if we're enjoying what we're working on, as if enjoyment is evidence that we're not taking it seriously enough. What if that's completely backwards? Enjoyment is not the enemy of serious work. Chronic joylessness is. The most sustainably productive people I know have found genuine enjoyment in their essential work. Not every moment, sure, but enough that the experience is energizing rather than depleting. The question isn't whether your work can be entirely fun. It's whether you can find or create enough enjoyment within it to sustain your engagement over time. In 1981, a British activist named Jane Tewson was in a refugee camp in Sudan and was pronounced dead, no less. She'd contracted cerebral malaria and viral pneumonia simultaneously. There were no drugs left, and she recalls leaving her own body and then returning to it. When she got back to England, one question consumed her. How do I get enough people to care about what I just saw? She knew that asking people to give money for suffering was necessary, but also exhausting. So she asked a better question. What if giving could be active, involving, and fun? And that question produced Comic Relief, and Comic Relief produced Red Nose Day, one of the most successful charitable campaigns in history. Her insight was to pair something people already enjoy with something that needs doing. And that result changed everything. When the thing you need to do is paired with something you genuinely enjoy, it stops feeling as much of a burden, and sometimes reaches a tipping point where it becomes genuinely pleasurable. So here are 3 ways to put this to work. Method 1, change what you pair with it. What do you already genuinely enjoy that could accompany necessary tasks? The right music while you write, a beautiful workspace for the work you've been dreading, a walk with a friend instead of a sit-down meeting. None of these make the task less serious. They make it more sustainable. Method 2, turn it into a game. Games, by definition, have clear rules, a way to keep score, and a defined endpoint, a way of winning. A lot of the essential work in our lives actually has none of these, which makes it feel endless and shapeless. But what if you gave it rules? What if you kept score? What if you set a clock? When we can see progress in a visible, measurable way, the work becomes more engaging, not because the work changed, but because our relationship to it did. Method 3, find what's genuinely interesting in it. Every area of work, however tedious it seems on the surface, contains genuine complexity, genuine craft, genuine learning if you look for it. The person who finds accounting boring hasn't found the interesting problems yet. Stuart Brown's research on play makes a crucial point. Play is not the absence of work. Play and deep engagement are not opposites. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying the experience of deep absorption. Of course, he called it flow, where work feels effortless because you're fully and enjoyably engaged. His research found that flow occurs at the intersection of high skill and high challenge. That's not easy exactly, but it doesn't feel like suffering, struggling either. It feels like being exactly where you should be, doing exactly what you were made to do. The effortless approach to enjoyment is, in part, about creating the conditions for flow, pairing the right level of challenge with genuine engagement, and removing the friction that prevents it. The people who do the most essential work over the longest periods have rituals of enjoyment built into their practice. Maya Angelou wrote in a hotel room and brought her own sherry, her crossword puzzles, a Bible, and a deck of cards. The writing was serious, but the context was pleasant or even pleasurable. Winston Churchill painted. He called it his most effective way of resting, not because it was passive, but because it engaged a different part of his mind in a genuinely enjoyable way. The rituals weren't distractions from the real work. They were part of what made the real work possible. The most impactful work is often the work that has been made possible to sustain, and enjoyment is what makes it sustainable. Think of the highest performing tennis players in the world. A researcher looked at the difference between the top 25 and the top 5 within that group. Was there anything distinctive, different, that made a difference? And he found that it literally was their level of joy in the moment. Even when they failed, there was a sense of, well, watch what I'm going to do next. And when they did do something superb, there was a key elation in that moment itself. Think of Steph Curry playing basketball. There is a palpable joy that we can all observe. And that joy is what sustains him through the most extensive preparations to play of perhaps anybody in basketball history. Comic Relief's Red Nose Day, pairing charitable giving with pleasure of watching comedy, has now raised over £1 billion. Jane Chewson didn't achieve this by making giving feel more serious or more guilt-inducing. She achieved it by making it more joyful. She didn't compromise the seriousness of her cause. She amplified it. So I want to give you something explicit. Permission to enjoy your essential work. That's not a productivity hack. It's because the work that is enjoyable is work that is sustainable, and sustainable effort is what produces extraordinary outcomes over time. But what if the most important work could also be the most enjoyable? Start there with that idea. In one word, what is something that is important but you dread that you could make more enjoyable? Share your one word in the comments.